hotly contested as well. The Lapu Lapu, I mean, they have a lot of options going into this one. So I think it's more about prioritizing their comfort picks, especially when you have some of the players that might not be as, have the deepest of hero pools.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the problems here for them. What are they going to be thinking here for NONGSHIM REDFORCE, especially with the new players on the block here for their side? Will this be, or at least when they have a draft, will they be able to play it as effectively as you think they would, even if they win that drafting phase?
Yeah, and it looks like NONGSHIM REDFORCE are like, hey, this Haya, it's so bad, we're going to ban it so you don't have to pick it. You're welcome.
That's what you're saying. You said Haya is. I mean, it didn't work during the last game, so let's ban it. So at least Dominator is not going to be showing us how it's done.
Yeah, no. All jokes aside, Haya, power pick. This is a super
really
good
strong
pick, especially in that mid lane. If it's able to get farm, it can basically solo anyone, and you do it, in your arena, you're just going to be able to just dominate. But unfortunately for the, Illusion in the last one, he wasn't able to get to that critical mass, but they're going to go with their old tried and true, get Siri his Loom, who again, hasn't been very successful on this hero as they've only been 0-3.
That's true. He has been defaulting to this pick ever since last year. Long first pick for NONGSHIM REDFORCE has always been the thing for NONGSHIM REDFORCE, and it was banned last game. So maybe Holler, even if it was 0-3, it's okay. We're gonna still try it for this next game. Maybe this time it's gonna be a 1-3 on NONGSHIM's side.
Yeah. And also, if you're looking at the Dominator esports side, they can go with their Chano. They have options to deal with this Loom, right? But the biggest piece that people have kind of been counter-picking the Loom has been with like the Zachao, the Nua. There are ways to kind of outrange it, especially when you have that, the Dragon, that infinite fastness. You know exactly where it's going to land.
Yeah, and what I like about what people have been building up whenever they see a Leon getting second picked, they usually pick up the Ambrosia Nightbloom because she could tank the ult, and it's okay if she tanks the power word control together with that Princess Frost combo. She's just gonna go in front. If you don't use the ult on me, you're gonna have a problem. That's why Nightbloom is such a great counter to this Leon Princess Frost combo.
Yeah. At the same time, Dominator Esports, I mean, they should know that that's the rough plan, right? But the other ones, if they're able to kind of get it, Tooncaster is not going to be easy to burst down as well. I mean, with enough damage, she can be very squishy. Depends on what role. It looks like a roam, which means it's even squishier. So maybe a better target, but we're going to still have to see.
Yeah. Want to see what they're going to be doing next. They banned the Flowborn. They planned the Flowborn tank. That really screams something to me. They want to play an assassin, a Fade probably, on the side of Dominator Esports if they're going to be going for... Okay, nice take for NONGSHIM.
Yeah, it looks like they're like, okay, they know what they were trying to arrow in on, and they're going to pick the Featherfoot, the Fade themselves. Plus the Yixing, Illusion is very good on this hero, and being able to kind of lock that one in, because again, if they get on top of you, if you're able to lock in the War Saint, where's he going to go?
That's true. And one thing that I have a problem with here for NONGSHIM REDFORCE is they're gonna go for the pay for Dominator together with the War Saint. I do like NONGSHIM REDFORCE's composition a lot more because they do have Nightbloom to be in front. She's gonna be acting like a Byron, probably gonna be in front of everybody while everything is happening. But the problem here is they don't really have a great frontline for NONGSHIM REDFORCE, but I think it's a lot more flexible than what Dominator Esports has.
Yeah, but that's kind of the problem, right? I mean, Nightbloom it's great, especially when the control from the Liang, the Tomb Master, and Arrow it can take quite a number of these skills. But who's gonna deal with the Solaris and the Tigers that are just like running at you? They don't really have a front liner. Yes, you might be able to board them, but now you're on the run. You don't really have ways to kind of to deal and to fight head up straight up against this Dominator Esports lineup.
Yeah, especially with their lineup, even if they don't have a front line here, because War Saint is usually going to be going for the flank, you at least have like a wall in front of you via the Princess Frost and the Toe Master because of their big AoEs. So it's still not easy for you to even get to the backline. But at least for NONGSHIM REDFORCE's side, Featherfoot has a lot of targets on the other side because he could go to the backline and just take down 3 if he wants to.
Yeah. Literally everyone. I mean, they don't really have a frontliner themselves. It's like, you know, all gas, no brakes on this lineup, right? It's a glass cannon. Everyone is very squishy. If they're able to hit their stuns, though, they can really just kind of just stay alive and to deal with this. But Haku, all eyes on this guy, on this fade. Is he able to get the farm to get to the back line?
Yeah, that's also the problem, though, because he's not going to be having fun with a Liang, Princess Frost, a HOK on the other team. So it's going to be such a challenge for this Featherfoot. So I want to see how he plays this. And on the other hand, the Tigress also is going to be an important part of Dominator Esports' side because they could actually bully the Fade pretty early on with this lineup that they have.
Yeah, they could be bullying. I mean, they could be aggressive. They can look to invade as much as possible as well. I mean, Guan Yu probably not the strongest level 1 guys, but the rest of them, I mean, when you see the Liang and Princess Frost, you could make some serious moves, especially early.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be doing right now. We're going to be going to game number 2. It is still NONGSHIM REDFORCE versus Dominator Esports. It's already a 1-0. Will this be the time for a comeback? It's still the start. So NONGSHIM REDFORCE still has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of work to do, and they're going to start things off by just planting their flag. That's the biggest piece that I see right now. They're just like, okay, we are representing Korea, and we will ensure that we fight the good fight here against the host Indonesian squad of Dominator Esports.
Yeah, assemble, as they said, and that's what they were doing right there in front of them. And that is one thing that I really love about this, right? Whenever we're talking about matchups, especially on the farm laners, you usually know at least roughly who's going to be winning. And the HOK against the Long is always such an insane matchup that I know the HOK is going to be winning.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, the HOK probably wants to go more tank style just to stay alive.
Yeah.
Because again, if Haku gets on top of you, it's going to be a tough situation. But the Firehawk, it looks like it's taken by NONGSHIM, but now they're on the run.
Yeah, Churl gonna be going Siri. Has to flash that away, and that's a big spell down.
Yeah, big spell down, but just staying alive. You don't want to give up first blood. That would have been a disaster for NONGSHIM, and they don't want to do that. Siri using it at the right time. Obviously, he's not level 4 at this point, so he didn't have that infinite vastness, but still, well played. You've dodged the ambush and the gank attempt by Dominator here.
Yeah, still a good flash coming in from Siri. But they can do that again for the next time around here for the side of DMT after, or at least before Siri gets into level 4. But no, that's not going to happen. He's going to get to level 4 before they get there.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen, I think, at this point. But L, this is the other one that we need to look at, especially early. Once he hits level 4, he's got that power word control, the lockdown, and then you know that they're going to start making moves across the map to get some sort of gank happening. Because again, that lockdown, that combination is just way too much damage. You're almost guaranteed to kill.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be doing here. Looking for that level 4. That's where they're posturing themselves to go for the bot lane here. Getting a bit of that XP. Wasn't able to show. The Burning Sun Arrow is going to be there. Frigid Person. This might be it. But Unending Sorrow might be at the right time. They don't have damage yet. So that is a failed attempt for DMT.
I mean, it was a good attempt in that sense. I mean, L was not level 4, but it was too deep under the tower, right? NONGSHIM understands that, hey, if you want to dive, and Namu is definitely somewhat at risk of being killed because he is on the squishier end, but still, good attempt by Dominator. You want to put pressure on. You want them to think about it before they just go free farm in that, that lane.
Yeah, for everybody to know though, L hasn't been seen around the map after he got level 4, so most of the members of NONGSHIM REDFORCE are just pushing themselves back further into their side of the base because they know that once they see somebody around the map, L is going to be flashing in.
Yeah, and right now, this is the gank attempt, and you're seeing this right now.
Okay,
they're about to go.
There you go. Flash coming in. Frigid Person's going to be there. They have the board on their side, though, but they are still going to get the kill anyway. Siri falls, and that's a first blood coming to their side. Haku looking for revenge. Tion X still surviving, but he is going to get killed with a heart and Jade Mark, and that's a 1-for-1. They're still going to go for the chase down. They don't have their ults on their side, but TMT are just going to be backing up, but never mind. Tubbs is here, and he's going to push somebody back. Rattel had to use the flash away, and they are just going to be disengaging out of this fight.
All right, so it's a good gank attempt right there. I mean, they keep going.
Yeah, Heart and Jade Mark. That's going to be a kill. And L just stepped foot in the wrong turf right there.
Yeah, actually, but it was on his side of the river. I mean, this is his home base. He just got invaded. He just got taken out. But Haku making him pay, and that's exactly how you want that revenge tour, right? Dominator, great play. Juro flashes forward, gets the Frigid Prison, makes it very easy for L to just walk up and to get that control, but in the bottom lane, CC.
Yeah, CC's gonna be dead. That is gonna be an ending story. Even the infinite vastness has been used just for them to tank a bit of that tower damage. And now because CC's not in the area, they'll have no damage to deal with a fight here. So they're just gonna back off.
Yeah, this is a much better start for NONGSHIM. I mean, yes, they did get ganked early. Siri did go down. He got kind of focused. Great attempt by Dominator on that one. But then they were like, okay, actually, we're in no man's land. This is a terrible spot to be in. And NONGSHIM were able to make them pay. They got a couple catches. They were able to get TNX, which is the biggest piece of this one, especially with Haku getting those kills. You do not want to see that if you're a Dominator esports fan.
Yeah, top side. We're seeing CC gonna get dove here. Hard and Jade Mark, and that's a killing spree coming in from Haku.
I mean, he's making it too easy. This is the problem with the Hou-Yi. He's very static, very immobile, if you will, and he's under the tower, and NONGSHIM are able to play fast and furious, get on top of you, get that kill, and to walk away and not even look at his body exploding behind you.
Yeah, he went full anime with that. He just went out with a bang, and now they're gonna go with a Burning Sun arrow. Not gonna hit anybody. But look at the tower in the bottom lane, though. The tower is already half HP. Siri just did his work here. And one more run back from him, that's going to go down.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be going down. I mean, the Vanguards are going to push, create a little bit of space. But as you see in this gold rank, Haku has been the man of the match thus far. He's outpacing TNX. He's gotten the better of him. He's gotten more kills. And Haku is like, we got this game too. Just get on my back, guys.
Yeah. Gonna be trying here for GMT. I was expecting more from TNX this game, but he's already level 10 together with Haku. At least he's not really that far from what Haku has, so they still have a chance here once they go for the comeback. But I was expecting more from the combo. Frigid Prison gonna be coming in, and that's gonna be the damage. Not enough because the passive just procced from Illusion.
Oh, he just barely hangs on. That is the closest it could have been. I mean, the passive kept him alive, but that was super close. It was a nice little attempt there, but NONGSHIM were like, okay, I got you, fam. As Nomu was there with Namu was there with those heals, just ensuring that they didn't get too close as well.
Yeah. He was also planting flags. It was 3 flags down the line there. So that's why they got the shields in the end there. Look at this, Tupsy. Gonna go for the chase down, not too fast, because they force Siri out of the infinite bosses, but TNX in position. Do they have the ultimate? Namu doesn't have the ultimate on his side, but the Taking Liberties was able to hit Frigid Prison to get a win, and that's a kill! Illusion is gonna fall down. After that, a while ago, Hardened Jade Mark gets Jurl, but onto the back line, look at Rattel. He's just raining domination right down the line, and they're keeping CC out of the way. A 2-for-2 for now, and a tower in the mid lane is gonna fall.
I mean, just because they got the mid T1, Dominator coming out on top of that one, but that was super close. Rattel probably should have been killed even in that one, but the Burning Sun arrow by CC just a little off the mark. That could have been the extra the buff that Dominator needed. I mean, yeah, they still killed Illusion, but that could have been damage where they can turn attention on the other guys to get even more. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hit that, and they're going to be happy with that. But mind you, Haku going down for the first time, that was a big kill for Dominator.
Yeah, you talked about the builds a while ago, right? But while I'm talking about that, the Burning Sun arrow got the hit together with a Frigid Prison, but the Taking Liberties was there to stop them from doing anything more. That is going to be the ultimate on their side, though, but onto the backside, Haku just breach it. Is he going to kill anybody? No, he was not able to. It was still a 2-for-1, and DMC still got the advantage there.
Oh, Haku went all in, tried to go for CC, and this is kind of that problem where you need that damage because the Hou-Yi is starting to get a little tankier at this point. It's going to be much tougher to take him down. You need probably more than one, and Haku had 3 members of Dominator grouped up. He was doing some nice slashes across all of them, did a bunch of damage, but unfortunately wasn't able to convert. He goes down yet again.
Yeah, he was looking at 2 targets. If he just chased one, that could have been a kill for Haku. That was almost a kill. But again, still nice try. Burning Sun Arrow going to be coming in. Siri going to be the target again. They use the board just to stop them from going for the combo. Siri had to force the infinite fastest. Chan X is going to be the target. Half HP on the board. CC free to hit onto the back line. They're trying to push them back, but Tubbs having a hard time pushing them right out of the wall because that's not going to happen.
Not going to happen at this point. I mean, things are very close. Nice arrows. They have nice, combinations that just kind of segue into like the frigid prisons. So they have the combos attempts, but they're not able to convert. And NONGSHIM right now just barely hanging on, sometimes getting a little bit lucky, just surviving. And it's about those kills that might bite Dominator in the butt later.
Yeah, I always love NONGSHIM's drafts whenever it comes down to the game, but right now, Dominator just knows how to adapt through the draft that NONGSHIM has done here. NONGSHIM needs to follow through with this because this is such a good draft and they need to win this.
Yeah, they definitely need to win this. But, I mean, the longer this game goes, and yes, it's only 10 minutes in, the net worth is actually in favor of NONGSHIM. As long as they kind of hang around, I think NONGSHIM are going to be in a better spot. So it's just a matter of biding their times, playing patiently.
Nice use of that Sprightly boost just to get the extra speed to get away. They got the board on 2. They're not going to be here in time. They got a bit too late. Rattel just went in, even using the Spike Mill just to take more damage for him. Everybody's low HP on the other side though. NONGSHIM REDFORCE are dominating Dominator, and that Margin Jade Mark seals it to get the ace for NONGSHIM.
I mean, Haku got that. He knew he was going to go down, got the Heart of Jade seal to ensure that he gets the kill onto TNX, and now NONGSHIM in the driver's seat, looking to just run it down mid. 15 more seconds till Jurl's up, but L is going to be the fastest one up. He should be able to deal with his wave here.
Yeah, that's going to be a tower on the mid lane down. NONGSHIM REDFORCE not backing down, and as we said, they just have to play on their draft, and let's take a look at this replay.
Yeah, I mean, it just set it up. Nice little board, but it started with that Tyrant. Nice little Razor Cavalry. Rattel was trying to go for the back line, and look at how slow CC is. Haku is trying to run at him, finds it, and TNX gets the revenge tour, but he dies, trades his life away. Siri staying alive was the biggest factor of that one.
Yeah, great play from their side, and is also going for that tanky build on Siri. That's why he's surviving a lot more on this team fight. And most of the members of DMT are having a hard time taking him down, even with the combos that they're doing.
They're throwing everything. They're trying to just unload on them. I mean, you could definitely tell there's going to be some frustration because you're trying and doing whatever you can to get those kills. And if you're not able to convert, it's like, again, they survive. And NONGSHIM have done that quite a number of times already.
Yeah, and now they're going for the Overlord here for the side of NONGSHIM. Most of the people from DMT are on the bottom side of the map. Not gonna see this happening. I mean, they can't contest it anyway. They're playing against a Fade. So they're just gonna let them do it.
And actually, this is gonna be more of a problem for Dominator. Even another big edge come late game when those Heart and Jade Seal just secure all of those big neutrals. So Dominator now on a bit of a timer, and it looks like they've kind of hit that tipping point where NONGSHIM are able to take the fight to them.
Tubbs in a really great position here on where he is currently. Could go for a great flank here out of the members right now. They're using the arrow onto the back line with a frigid prison. Nobody's gonna survive it, but Tubbs is gonna come to the back line. Got the push in 3, forced the ultimate right down. So now they don't have any damage on the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE. They're doing so well, and NONGSHIM just has to back off, forces the flash on most of their members, and they're still gonna go for the chase down. TNX in front, gonna go for Haku, but it's not gonna happen. They're very, very fast, and because of the Overlords, or rather the Shadow Vanguard, it's gonna be ending right now. Rattel gonna go for it, but it's not enough. A sliver of health, almost winning it.
Oh my god! Just blow on it. It's gonna fall over, right? That's how it works. Rattel, he tried to go for the heroic play in that mid lane. He thought he could end it, but one more shot. He was just a little too late. They played for the macro game, and NONGSHIM, oh my god, good attempt, but it just failed in the end. Wow.
That was so scary. That was almost a win. Just one more, man. Just one more. That could have been a NONGSHIM win on the board. NONGSHIM are doing so well. This will feel so bad for Rattel if ever they lose this game.
I mean, It was a good attempt. I think that, 10 out of 10, you do that, right? When the fight was, they were running. They were so tunnel visioned on the rest of NONGSHIM. They were trying to chase out Siri and Haku, and then their base was like under siege. Rattel, very sneaky play. And you always got to watch out for NONGSHIM, especially with like Kyung9 and now Rattel doing those types of macro plays.
Yeah, Rattel in position. They have the board. TNX needs to back off. Haku gets in, and they have a lot of shields in TNX, but he's still gonna fall. NONGSHIM are just gonna run it back and gonna try to go for the finish here. 4 people are still alive, but they got the Tyrant anyway, so they are just gonna wait for the next minion wave.
And this is that moment. The minion wave is going to be there, but Haku is going to be backing off. They're going to play a little bit longer on this one, understanding that they do have an advantage, but this 4-man roster that is Dominator is still tough to deal with.
Going in front, force the Unending Sorrow. Illusion does have the ultimate with the board right now. You have to be careful under positioning. Burning Sun Arrow is going to be there, but Churl might fall down. That's going to be 1 on the board. They're going to go for the finish here. DMT are just going to back up. What a damage coming from Haku. That's going to be the ender right here for the side of NONGSHIM, and they're not going to go back down without a fight, and that's 1 on the board for NONGSHIM REDFORCE.
Oh, this is the NONGSHIM REDFORCE lineup that we've been waiting for. This type of game. We know that they're strong. We know that they can play with the big boys, and they did it in a dominant fashion. Able to make some heads-up plays, good attempts, and they really took it to Dominator Esports as they even the series 1-1.
Good camera work from our cameraman right there. It's our game, which is real. For NONGSHIM REDFORCE, they were able to win that. Almost a clutch win from Rattel, but they ran it back and won it anyway. So NONGSHIM REDFORCE, what a nice game too.
Yeah, actually, just really good bounce back game. That's exactly how you want to play things. I mean, those arrows, those power controls, they had that lockdown. Things were not looking good, but this lineup falls off, right? The pay will suffer at some points, especially when the other team like Haku on this fade is able to outclass you in terms of the net worth and damage, and he can turn it up and get onto that back line, and Dominator had no answers then.
Yeah, especially if you don't have the game in your hands. For example, if you have a pay, you don't get the early to mid-game snowball with the pay, you're gonna have a hard time the later the game goes, especially if you're fighting against a fade. A better pay, if you may. So with what happened for that game, that is what happened. And NONGSHIM REDFORCE, they were so tanky. They had the Unending Sorrows, the Infinite Vastness. So if ever they don't get the kill right there and then, those targets of the power word control will still be able to get away.
Yeah. And also, let's give props to Rattel here. I mean, that attempt almost got it. That would have been, huge for him. And they were able to finally get it. But Haku getting onto that back line, that's the biggest thing. And that's why they were able to do it. But Rattel, for me, was another guy that, we've kind of been bashing it, unfortunately, right? He hasn't had the greatest of showings of KIS, but he really showed up when the team needed him on this Umbrosa here. Did a really good job. And always being that frontliner and just having the second. He sacrificed his life, but he did it for a good cause.
Yeah, man, what's hard whenever you're playing a NONGSHIM, right? You're taking all the damage, but you're also dealing the damage back, especially with this Spike Mail build that he had here for his game. He was doing a lot of work for the team in order for them to just get forward, take all the pressure out so that everybody's comfortable.
And if we're looking at these KDAs, I mean, Haku 9-3-7. Let's look at the other jungler, TNX 6-4-2. We knew it was going to be a matchup of junglers going into this one. But seeing both of these Titans going at it, swinging blow for blow, and Haku getting the better of TNX, at least in this one, really makes for an interesting series here.
Yeah, what's really hard about the lineup of DMT, that's why I preferred a while ago the composition of NONGSHIM REDFORCE. If ever you were able to breach the non-existent front line that DMT has, they're just gonna be scattering and their combo is not gonna be thrown at you, which is why it was so hard for CC to play this game, because once Rattel goes forward, you should be targeting him and you're not gonna be able to deal damage to the other members of NONGSHIM.
Yeah. And actually, if you're kind of looking at this draft, I mean, the Pei, Princess Frost, Leon combination, Hou Yi as well, kind of, I mean, they're geared for the early to mid game to close things out. And then you have the Guan Yu, which kind of, in the end, it didn't really have that much of a payoff because of the repositioning really didn't work when the team fights aren't happening because you're just getting bursted. But if we're looking at the gold graph on this one, NONGSHIM REDFORCE, right? It was a tough one, right? It looked good, 5-minute mark, and then it kind of dipped a bit, and then it took them till about the 10-minute mark before they finally got this draft synergizing well.
Yeah, it was a great attempt here also for DMT. I like the combos that they've been doing, but you know what? Now 2026, people know how to deal with that. Liang Princess Frost is a 2025 thing, and even NONGSHIM REDFORCE here, who are doing really good in this series, just knew how to deal with it. And the Umbrosa from Rattel, the Night Plume, was just such a perfect answer to it.
So you're saying it's just like out of the meta, the Liang Princess Frost combination, they're just a bunch of boomers that still pick it. It's got no opportunity moving forward.
Nah,
is that what you're kind of saying, Dash?
I'm just saying it's just a thing of the past, which doesn't mean what you said.
Oh, okay.
You were the one
just kind of
who added the
extrapolating
subtitles.
on it.
I just, yeah. I just said something. yeah.
I'm translating
no extra explanation from me. Right.
All right. I'm okay with that. But I mean, if we're looking at these matchups, I mean, Illusion, this is one where he's like one of the better Yixings. He's definitely very comfortable on it. We see Siri doing very well on the Lung as well. CC was doing what he could. I mean, the arrows, a couple of them, a little off the mark. If he was able to hit on some of those, it might have changed the trajectory of this game. But in the end, it just seemed like NONGSHIM were just able to outlast and out-survive Dominator in this one.
Yeah, interesting thing here for CC, he went with a crit build, right? So he didn't go for the usual that you go for at least a lot more health for you to survive the Lung, because the Lung didn't go for the crit build anyway, so you're not gonna get one hit. And it's also smart for him because they needed damage for that team composition. But let's take a look at the MVP purse of this game. It is definitely gonna be Namu with 2-1-14 on that Tunecaster.
Yeah, it was the big, like the arrows and all of those controls from Liang was just able to outlast that, just barely enough. So many guys were able to just kind of walk away with a sliver of life because of Namu and his clutch plays. Being able to make those saves, gotta be key. A little underrated piece that people don't really see. They just think that, oh, the teammate just walked away. He somehow survived. And we'll see a lot of them in the highlights.
Yeah, and you can see here from most of the game, right? The combo starts off from the arrow, there were a lot of starting points for DMT. They made sure that the combo has like 2 layers. It's either it's gonna be started by L or it's gonna be started by CC. And Gerald is just gonna flash in for sure for the combo. But most of the time, as you said, they're gonna survive. And if they survive, the combo is just out of the board and everybody's just gonna be diverging on the side of DMT.
It seemed like Gerald was not afraid, and I like the fact that he was playing aggressively on that Princess Frost. But once they started grouping up, this is actually just clean work by NONGSHIM, able to have a decent amount of AoE, those whirlwinds, those slashes. It's going to make it very tough for them to fight, and it seemed like it played into the hands of NONGSHIM, who are going to be very happy with this. Wow. And this is that one last play by Rattel, the one shot somehow doesn't get the crystal in that game, and they just had to wait a little bit longer before they eventually did take it down.
He was also getting attacked by the... It was like, the coach was like, wait, that was scary. And they were still able to get it. There you go. You can see Coach YK being so happy after getting that win from NONGSHIM REDFORCE, and just so good to see them smiling, even after the...